I think of course we have a lot of games left in the league, and we're still in 3 competitions. Personally, I know I was out for the first 6 months of the season, so I'm going to give it my all for the club over the last 2 or 3 months now, in the hope of heading to the World Cup with a great deal of confidence.
What if Arsenal are not just thinking about one blockbuster midfield move this summer? What if they are looking at the 2 Chelsea names that once felt almost impossible for any rival to even dream about? Now that is a conversation, Gooners, because when you say Enzo Fernandez and Moises Caicedo in the same breath, you are not talking about squad depth, you are not talking about nice options, you are talking about 2 midfielders Chelsea paid huge money for, tied down on long contracts and still seen as core-level players. So let's get the first thing right, loud and clear. This is not a confirmed Arsenal operation. This is not a done deal story, and it is definitely not something close right now. Enzo is officially under contract at Chelsea until 2031, and Caicedo signed an 8-year deal with an option for a further year when he joined in 2023. And that is exactly why his name still lights people up. There is unfinished business energy there. But again, we have to stay disciplined. Almost joining Arsenal in the past is not the same as being available now. In fact, the latest strong public angle around Caicedo has involved Real Madrid links, and he has publicly knocked back that speculation. So, yes, Arsenal history is there. Yes, the fit can be argued. But the current reality is still that Chelsea have him. He's under a long deal, and there is no solid sign they are trying to open the door. And that is the real obstacle with both of these names. Chelsea do not have to sell. That changes everything. Even if there were tension around Enzo's future, even if Arsenal liked Caicedo's profile, even if rival clubs were circling, Chelsea's contract control is massive. Long deals mean leverage. Leverage means brutal asking prices. Brutal asking prices mean these are not normal transfer fantasies. These are elite market, high-risk, big club power plays. And the politics make it even nastier, because this is not some move between distant leagues. This would mean Arsenal trying to pull a major starter, or potentially 2 major starters from a direct domestic rival. Yeah, that is the kind of move that gets ugly fast. Still, from a tactical point of view, it's worth asking what each one would do for Arsenal. Enzo would give Arsenal another elite passer in deep and middle zones, somebody who could help Arteta control possession even harder and unlock games with progressive distribution. He wouldn't replace Rice's physical dominance, but he would complement the technical side of Arsenal's midfield beautifully. Caicedo, on the other hand, feels like the nastier Premier League weapon. He covers ground, he kills transitions, he can press high or sit, and he turns midfield into a war zone. If Arsenal ever wanted to go even more intense in big away games or Champions League knockouts, Caicedo is the sort of player who makes that possible. That is why fans love debating him. But if I'm being brutally honest, Gooners, the more realistic takeaway here is that Arsenal are not about to sign both. It's that both names show you the level of midfielder Arsenal would need if they really wanted another transformative piece. Enzo is the luxury controller. Caicedo is the Premier League destroyer controller. Both are elite. Both are expensive. Both are hard. And because Arsenal already officially carry a very strong midfield base, this would not be about panic buying. It would be about obsession with reaching the very top. That is the kind of thinking champions have. So, where do I land? Simple. Enzo Fernandez to Arsenal right now feels more like an intriguing high-level fantasy because the current public links are louder elsewhere, and Chelsea still have him locked down. Moises Caicedo to Arsenal has the stronger emotional backstory because of how close it once felt, but Chelsea's grip is still very strong, and there is no sign this would be easy at all. So if you ask me whether Arsenal could dream about one of them, yes. If you ask me whether either move would be brutally difficult, absolutely yes. And maybe that's the real message here. Arsenal are now operating in a space where fans can even imagine names like Enzo and Caicedo without sounding delusional. Drop your thoughts below. If Arsenal could pull off only one, who would you choose? Enzo Fernandez or Moises Caicedo? Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let's build this together.